Hello, Natalie Tarry here from Natematics to take you through a question from the AQA November 2018 paper 1 for higher level. What I want to do, what I'm trying to do here is pick a question that is probably not so obvious where you're going to start with it. This is one that typically a lot of students will look and they'll think, okay, there's a mixture of numbers, but also some letters. And I've no idea how I'm supposed to show y equals 2x plus 2 from that, because they look so different. That is exactly why I'm doing the question, to show you. Now, I am not going to go through just the solution. You can get the mark scheme from this online. What I'm doing is I'm taking you to the position where you're in an exam and giving you some suggestions as to what you could do to access when you've got questions like this, okay? That is where the power is, I believe, because just telling you the solution to this question helps you for this question. How is that going to help you? Okay, it'll help you a bit, but not as much as I can help you. So let's summarize what we've got here. So in a chess club, there are X boys and Y girls. Okay, now what is Y? What is X? We don't know. But we do know that X is representing a number and Y is representing a number. So it's a number we don't know, okay? Here's a question for you. Is it going to be a whole number? So is X going to be 2, 10, 20, or could it be 6.5? Something for you to comment on below. Okay, so let's summarize what information we've got. We've got boys. How many of them we've got? We've got X. Whatever that number is. Doesn't matter that we don't know it. Have confidence that it doesn't matter. Number of girls. How many of those? We've got Y. Do we know what that is? No. It's Y. So what happens then? We add 5 more boys and 8 more girls. So what do we do in algebra when we're adding something? So if we're adding 5 more boys, well, if we had 10 boys to start with, what would we do to add 5? We just do 10 plus 5. It's exactly the same in algebra, exactly the same. It's whatever that number is plus 5. Doesn't matter what it is, but once we know it, we can add it in. Also, just keeping your eye on the solution here, on what we're looking for, the answer is algebraic. It's got letters in it, okay? Don't worry too much about where this is going to come from. Let's just summarize what we've got here first and try and see what we can do with it. Okay, so we add 8 girls to that. So whatever that number is, we add 8 to it. And that's simply what we put, Y plus 8. Right, what other information have we been given? Now, with these new numbers, X plus 5 and Y plus 8, we've been told that there's now half as many boys as girls. Okay, that's lovely, that's words. How can we turn that into something that means something in maths? Mathematically, how do we show there's half as many boys as girls? Now have a little think. Now, I've just put here, there are twice as many girls as boys. That's another way of turning that round. So it's half as many boys as girls. So let's just say there's 10 boys. That would mean there are 20 girls. Okay. So how can we show that with what we've got here? Well, let's just say this was, let's think about it. Let's just say this is 10. We don't know what it is yet, but let's just say if this was 10, and that must be 20. So we know that whatever this is divided by whatever this is, as I've done here, must be a half. Because whatever boys is, whatever the number of boys is half of whatever the number of girls is. This comes up quite a lot on ratio questions on higher level. So have a think about how you can represent ratios in as a fraction. Okay. So when you've got 2 ratios you want to compare together, think about how you can show them like this. Okay, so what maths can you do with what is in front of you? because we've got this equation going on and x's and y's, well, okay, maybe simultaneous equations might come into it. You know, who knows? There's an x and a y. But for now, let's just go with what we've got and think, what can I do with it? Just note the simultaneous equation comment came in because you're in an exam, you've got an x and you've got a y. That might be a trigger for something that you may need. You don't actually need it in this example. However, I'm putting you into that exam situation where you're thinking, what actually have I got in front of me? Right, so what maths can I do with what's in front of me? It doesn't look like that at the minute. So what can I do? Well, we can rearrange it, okay? So I always say, if you've got a fraction, you've got denominators, I always think they're a bit messy. So if you're rearranging something, always try and multiply through by whatever those denominators are. Because once you've got this, you can multiply both sides by 2. That means the 2 goes up there. You can multiply both sides through by y plus 8, which means this ends up going up there. So it's almost like a cross multiply thing goes on. So we end up with 2 lots of x plus 5, because that 2 has gone up to multiply it there. And the y plus 8 has gone because we multiplied both sides by y plus 8. Sometimes in my examples, I will actually go through the minute steps. I haven't on this one, but obviously I've talked through where it's come through. Right, have we answered the question yet? Well, let's go back to it. Have we showed that y equals 2x plus 2? No. But we've got this. This is where we're at. So what can we do? Because do you know what? One of the things I always say, and I talk about my Natematicisms, is never leave any maths undone. So if there's anything here we can do, then we should definitely do it. But look, we've got a single y. We've got 2x. So how can I get 2 from what's here? Now we've got y on one side on its own, but it hasn't got that plus 8 next to it. So that's kind of in the way, isn't it? So we need to push it over to the other side. And how do we do that? How do we cancel a plus 8? If we're adding 8, to cancel it out, we subtract 8. And basically, some people may understand this as it goes to the other side and it does the opposite. Okay, so lots of people understand it differently. So therefore, we've now got y equals 2x plus 2. Notice I read that out differently. You remember, whatever's on the left. So if it says 2x plus 2 equals y, then y equals 2x plus 2. Oops. And I'm just going to go back at that point. We've done it. If you did that, very well done. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to go and have my tea and I will carry on and I will do part B of the question in another recording. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.